This video is completely off the cuff and it's sort of a rant and a rave, getting some things off my chest and sharing with you. You can agree, you can disagree, but it's sort of like when I first started with YouTube in 2018, I built it up slowly, and by 2020, I could get monetized on this. And I was doing quite well, mainly because I did go on and on and on about the Three Gorges Dam. And it was very controversial at that time. Then it sort of like faded away, and I continued to do videos about Cambodia, about Thailand and China. Videos about Thailand and Cambodia, I would go with my camera and you could see the actual action of what is happening and why it's, for me, really nice to live in Southeast Asia, to retire in Southeast Asia. I've been in Asia for 31 years and I'm very happy living in Cambodia. It's very convenient, it's easy for visas, and you can always pop over to Thailand for the excitement. And I do go about 3 times a year to hang out with some friends there and have a beer or two. But with China, I used to work and live in China. I was based in Hong Kong, for example, and the first time I went to China was 1994. This was a exciting time. I was one of the very first European DJs into China, teaching the Chinese how to get the crowd excited. And if you do watch videos of nightclubs in China, it's the Chinese DJs nowadays, the ones who do interact and can mix the music, do the same as what my business partner Simon and I used to do in the 1990s. And some of them are very beautiful, but they don't play music. They just go and pretend to do the mix when everything is pre-recorded for them. Whether they do the pre-recording themselves, don't know. But that's the EDM, the electronic dance music that you may hear sometimes when you walk past a nightclub or a electronic store pumping out the music full volume to grab your attention. I don't like that kind of advertising, but it does work because it does get your attention. But there seems to be, in a lot of people, Westerners in China, from South Africa, from England, from America, from Canada, who will only do the hate, and I would say the dislike of America, the Western world, and they would always compare how wonderful the facade, and it is a facade, of China to the United States. They would show these clean streets. Yeah, I can go down Rodeo Drive in Los Angeles, that's clean. I can go to parts of New York, and that's clean. But there are some places in America, which do have trash on the floor. There was one who went to London and he videoed a piece of trash on the floor. They said, oh, this would never happen in China. It's obvious you haven't been around your town where you live or the city where you live, because on the back streets there will be garbage. The same here in Cambodia, the same in Thailand, the same in Japan, the same as many other countries. It's not that pristine all the time. The tourist areas, they are cleaned and kept very well. And that's what, when you go to China, you would actually see. But they don't show everything. They only show the positive. It's like they can't do anything bad about the CCP. It's not allowed. So if Xi Jinping, the leader or the president or the general secretary of China, does something a little bit stupid, then they can't mention it. They're not allowed to. Otherwise, their visa would be revoked and they would be out of the country. A VPN is not allowed in China. It is illegal. Many people do use it, but they just use it in a positive way to get the information anti-America and then post it onto YouTube. YouTube is not allowed or banned or barred or whatever from the People's Republic of China, but they will post there. So they're using Western media to put their propaganda, which it really is. When they say there's no homeless people in China, and then Chinese citizens would post videos of the homeless in Guangdong province or in Guangzhou. It's sort of like they look foolish to say this, or the the poverty alleviation program. They would go to some villages which have been promoted of and with poverty alleviation, but it's not everywhere. Granted, ever since 1980, before Xi Jinping and this, there have been 800 million people who have been lifted out of poverty. Well done, because that's the development of a country. And this all started with the help of the Western countries like England, America, giving China free trade to help them start. But it was not meant to continue. And Donald Trump putting on these tariffs, I think, is fine. If you buy an American car in China, it may cost you an extra up to 75% more than it would be in America. The same as here. The car that I would like to buy is about $37,500. I think in America it's about 30,000 American dollars. With that, so why not have these tariffs? Because you got the free trade for so long. It's a deal that happened to help China develop. So it was the West who helped China start that way back in the 1979, 1980. Related to the thing about Taiwan, Taiwan is a country, it's the Republic of China. Communist China, the CCP or the CPC, have never controlled Taiwan. It's all the ongoing civil war. It, like South Korea and North Korea, it's still ongoing. It's relatively quiet, there's no bombs or anything happening, but China always seems to provoke the island of Taiwan by doing some war games around it, or provoking the South China Sea, which they claim is all theirs, when they would go into an economic zone of the Philippine Sea and harass the fishermen. These people wouldn't mention it, or they would do the positive side, or they would edit their videos where you wouldn't see the actual harassment of the fishermen in the Philippine Sea or near the islands of the island nation of the Philippines. They would skip that part and they would only do the positive, and they would only do the government side of that. But they seem to do really well on YouTube. That if you typed in China in YouTube, you would get the majority of the pro CCP channels promoting China is a good place, and then criticizing America, showing some videos of one street in Philadelphia instead of other streets in America, or being more comprehensive with that. It's sort of like a one-sided, but it seems to work, and many people went on to Red Note. So they said they could talk with Chinese people. And before you could, but you needed to register an account with WeChat. And WeChat, it's not like Facebook where you just leave your email and a telephone number for security reasons, whatever. You would need to have a Chinese person. Nowadays, you would need a Chinese person to verify your account. So they are responsible for you if you say anything bad against the CCP on that particular channel. So it's sort of like annoying with that. And you would see some channels grow rapidly from 18,000 subscribers up to 100,000. And they do get the majority of the, what's the word can I say? The majority of the people who are interested in China who would click on their channel and go, ooh, like that. And maybe these people, I'm going to be impolite, are a bit naive. They would believe everything which happens on social media. Or one person just sitting in his so-called studio and just, again, a guy who's never been to America talking how bad it is and does geopolitics with no experience at all related to geopolitics. There's another American guy who lives in Thailand who would do exactly the same. He doesn't have any qualifications at all. You do have people in America who would actually promote CCP or CPC, whatever you want to call it, in that way and do the promotion of it, the propaganda with it. And sometimes it's just false. They're either making it up or they're just following the orders, possibly from the propaganda department of the People's Republic of China. And we don't know that. We don't know if they get paid or whatever. They're not going to say, oh, I got 1,000 American dollars for doing this. One guy did get caught on PayPal, and the evidence was on YouTube related to his payment for a video that he did related to a TV station which is linked to the CCP. So you can see sometimes they do, and the evidence may be shown with that as well. And that's, again, not just me, but the big China channels like China Uncensored or the China Show would get less views. Now they have 1 million subscribers, but they only may get like 150,000 people who watch, which is like less than 10%. I have like 34,000 subscribers. I'm lucky if I get 1,000 people who watch it. So it's the posting from YouTube which doesn't seem to promote my channel as it used to before, and we don't really understand the reason for it. So for YouTube, if people are listening, maybe you could press a button and actually do something about this situation, because it's sort of like biased towards one, where we need two sides of the story. The Western Chinese communist people in China, that's one side, but people like Serpent ZA, Laowai 86, Free China, myself, China Uncensored, China in Focus, and other channels like that should be the other side. So you're getting the full picture. And that's what we need in media, the full picture, two sides to the story. It should be unbiased, but it's very difficult to be unbiased when you actually see the videos from Chinese people just that goes completely against the narrative of the pro-CCP shills in China. It's all food for thought, and I will wish you a happy day. Bye-bye for now. Cheers.